And welcome everybody once again to After Dark with the Boys. Bring you this is episode, I think it's episode 5, I believe it's episode 5.
Episode 5.
I know we've got this will be our 5th episode, I believe, of the regular show. We've had our After Dark on the road.
On the
We
road.
did our first episode of that. Check it out if you hadn't seen that one yet.
That
And
was
of
pretty
course,
good.
we have a ton of reactions that we've got on the channel too. So we're just doing a little bit of everything. This is our main podcast. We've got a reaction deal. We'll have reviews coming up. So many things happening on After Dark. A lot of new things coming that I'll announce as we get down the road. Thank you to everybody who helped us get to, we're at 1,348 subscribers right now.
All right.
So we appreciate that as
you.
of the time that we're recording this. So we couldn't do that without you guys. Thanks for tuning in to all the stuff that you do and offering all the suggestions that you do. Like I said, can't do this without you guys. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do that. And that notification bell, that helps us, of course, get in the algorithm and boost us on up, which is what we're trying to do and what we desperately need. So, but thank you guys for that. The PSA you read before, this show's a little bit different. It's not as rowdy as it used to be. Trust me. If you guys have seen the original show, trust me, that's a whole different monster altogether. So every now and then you may hear a word or two that's a little extreme. But we try to keep this, but more what we're doing now with After Dark is, and the reason we call it that is we're talking about subjects that a lot of people won't approach, but we're doing it from a real world perspective, like you and your neighbor talking.
Right.
That's what this is. We don't profess to be professionals
Nope.
out here with any kind of law degree or
Only thing we
economics
are is
degree or
professional wrestlers.
That's
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 it.
it. So right there should tell you what you're going to get with this channel.
That's
All right?
it.
There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. We don't tell you what to do and what you should or should not do.
It's
But we
just
will
strictly
give
our opinion.
It's strictly our opinion on that.
Strictly.
That's right. So
And we give zero.
very much zero
Zero.
F's.
Yeah.
So it's just how it is. So talking about that, we're going to talk about the relief effort in North Carolina based on Hurricane Helene because it is a thing.
Oh,
And I've done a
that's
couple of
monster.
reaction videos, and you guys can check those out. I'll probably leave a link in the description down there for a couple of those reaction videos if you want to check out some of the crap that's been going on with this. Like we talked about the Lake Lure couple, where the helicopter pilot flew in there, and
Yeah,
he
he was
rescued
just circling around,
Circling.
looking at him and his son were
That's
just
right.
looking at the damage and everything of what had gone on,
Exactly.
and actually saw them up there on that mountaintop.
That's right. So they're right there, and they're by their house. He flies in. They get the woman because they don't take one person at a time.
Right.
And
He has to leave his son there.
he had to leave his son there, so his son stayed back with the husband. Flew him in there. What he thought was going to be, hey, here we got another one. I'm about to go grab this husband. And what do they tell him? But hey, you can't. If you try to fly back up there, you're getting arrested.
No fly zone.
No fly zone. It wasn't when the point when he came in. All right. So there's a lot of backstory here, and I'm about to tell it to you because in that first video that I put out, reaction video, there was a lot of things we were not aware of yet, but it has a lot of it's coming to light now. Anyway, he went back, got his son, apologized to the man, said, I'm going to be arrested. Now, of course, that guy came out and said, I should have just did it anyway. But he had his son there, and I understand why he didn't. All right, because, it's almost a lose-lose situation. I think given the opportunity again, he probably would have went back and got the man. And of course, the couple don't hold it against him. He understood.
But if he'd have got
he
the man
understood.
and took him back, they might have arrested him, and his son would have been stranded
Yeah.
up there.
Now, what he probably should have done was take the man to the other place, dropped his son off, and then went and tried to figure out how to do it that way or something. But that being said, this is not the end of the story because there's an aerial recovery group out of Florida that comes in. I know one of them stationed out of Florida, and I saw this on the Sean Ryan podcast. If you don't know what the Sean Ryan podcast is, you need to check it out. The Sean Ryan show is awesome. Has a lot of military people, vets on there, guys who served overseas.
Really?
They got some stories. It's crazy on there. He actually interviewed Trump the other day, and which is pretty cool. But anyway, this group, they're in Florida, picking up stuff after Helene. The call came out that they needed help in North Carolina. He said, look, I'm going up. Do you want to come up with me? So the guy left his team down there, said, yeah, I'll go. Went up there with the guy from Aerial Recovery and their group, started scoping things out. Where do you think they go to? They end up over here at this place, right, at Lure Lake, right?
Where the no-fly zone
Where
is.
the no-fly zone is. He said there's a TFR up, and it's like, well, why? Well, it turns out there was another group. So when they drive into this place, and there are deputies blocking the road. You can't come through here. I'm like, what are you talking? We're here to rescue people. This is our job. This is what we're doing.
Right.
Well, we've been told it's a TFR. Nobody's allowed to come in here. He's like, well, we were told we could come in here and rescue people and get missions done. We're here to get. There's a call out that we've got to get these missions done.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying no. So anyway, well, you need to get me somebody in charge. So the captain of the police comes up. He said, well, I can take you to these next 2 checkpoints, and then you can deal with that from there. He said, but because that time these 2 guys are, these are military guys, ex-military guys.
Yeah,
So
they done got pissed.
they got a little pissed.
Yeah.
So
That'd be us. We'd have got pissed.
So those guys were like, yeah, we're not, deputies are not, we're not about to rock this boat because this could get awful. They go in, it happens 2 more times. The last checkpoint they went to on the other side was, he said there were like 13, I think, deputies just sitting around their cars. Now, they're all just standing around their cars. Nobody's searching for anybody. Nobody's searching for anybody, right? They're just standing there. And then here comes this other group of guys out. Turns out this is a group of guys from Michigan who are being paid to come in and find people, right? Paid. These other guys from Area Recovery, it's non-profit. They're just there to help save people. Mm-hmm. They don't give a damn how it's done. They're just in there to do it, right? They're just in there to do the thing.
Just to help.
Just to help. And this group's trying to turn them away, real arrogant stuff. So these guys are about to lose their minds, right?
Right.
And so they made a plan to come back the next morning. They all agreed at 7 a.m., all meet there. They figure out a plan and do this thing. Because they're like persistent, like we're rescuing people.
Right.
I don't know what y'all are doing. Well, this guy's just saying, well, I can't work with these guys. I can't work with these guys. The guy from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So it turns out they're from a little team over in Michigan. Like I said, it turns out they were the lowest bidders to come do this job over there. Like somebody was bidding out for them to come.
To rescue people?
Yes. So they rescued, right? Which is terrible. And they were trying to say it was the Speaker of the House in North Carolina. It's the one that told them they couldn't be there. So the next day
so somebody's making money off of this shit.
So the next day they come in there. It's supposed to be at 7. Those other guys, everybody else is there. Police there, everybody's there. But those other guys don't roll up till about 7:45, just laughing and stuff like that. Needless to say, that was their last day there.
You guys from Michigan?
Yes. They were gone after that. Turns out, Speaker of the House never said that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was that dude, that leader from the Michigan guy, that put up the no-fly zone over there because he didn't want anybody intrude on his turf.
Oh.
While he's sitting around not rescuing people, getting paid for just being there.
Oh.
People, you got to be careful who you let into in your community. And that's the takeaway from that, right?
Yeah.
So these guys are back out on helicopters, flying out. This is the same guys that rescued that 11-day-old baby. Did you hear about that?
Uh-uh.
So it was an 11-day-old baby. So they're like, we got to get to work. They get a call. There's a mission come down. At first they heard it was a 1-year-old baby. Turns out it's an 11-day-old baby.
11 days.
So
they fly up there, they find the baby, 11 days old, they give it oxygen, they save the baby. Divine intervention, call it what you want. Because the guy said, all right, just telling his teams, like, look, this is what we got going on. There's the baby, they gave them the directions of where they're going to be. You have to get through all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You got to get through helicopters. Some of these roads you can kind of get to if you go around or back way, if you can find the back ways around. Mm-hmm. Guy comes back and said, dude, I'm right here. He said, what do you mean? He said, I'm right here at those coordinates. I'm right here. I'm just right here where you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah. So another member of his team was already right there. Had just come into the area.
With, like, on...
Oh, yeah, on a vehicle.
On a vehicle?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, I mean, call that what you will. But here's the first part before I go to that. When they first got there was somebody that was at the airfield because they were trying to find a helicopter to take them out. And some stranger came up and said, you need a helicopter, right? I know so. I hear, hold on just a second. Remember I said, these guys need a helicopter. You got to get them on there and go take them out. Nobody's ever seen that guy again. They didn't see him after that.
The guy that came up?
Yeah.
Really?
Was not seen again. No one saw him after that. It's just right there when they needed the helicopter. So I said, you guys need a helicopter? Hold on a second. Went over there, these guys need a helicopter, I need to help them out. And that was it. I never saw him again. I'm just saying. All right, so they rescue the baby, right? They go get the baby. They rescue the baby. I mean, they gave it oxygen, flew it to the hospital. Guy had to make a landing So the guy had to land there. This is a fixed wing pilot. Landed in a helicopter in a place he's never on a thing he's never landed on.
Really?
Lands a helicopter. Same thing when he gets to the hospital, he's like, I've never landed. It's a big crosswind. I've never landed like this. No issues. Baby gets in there, baby safe. All this good stuff. He got all the help it needed.
Parents?
Boom. Parents were good. Yeah, they had parents. Everybody was safe there.
Good.
And then the next mission they went on an hour later, they had to save an old lady who had 1 day of oxygen left. Right? That was it.
And so those son of bitches that were there from Michigan were about to let these people die.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you got guys out there busting their butts, trying to save people, not for recognition, not for anything. And this dude put out another video of his went viral. It's one he was just going off on. Don't believe all the stuff you hear in the media, which is the continual thing, right? The media's hyping it up like the National Guard did this and FEMA did this and all these things, and it's not here. And here's the thing with that: when we say these things, it's not criticizing the boots on the ground people. Mm-hmm. It's the command structure or lack of it.
Right.
Right. It's the people in charge up top tier who aren't making decisions and aren't getting these people in there. Kamala Harris goes in there, does a photo op with the National Guard, and they loaded up a chopper full of supplies. That chopper never left the compound and never delivered the supplies. It was only there for a photo op.
Dude,
Again, facts. These aren't made up stories. These are people seeing these stories and telling them, like, this is what's happening out here. Don't believe the media.
I posted a picture of her overlooking it with talking about just giving them $750. Man, them supporters of hers started tearing me up on there, boy.
I had a few of those too. Somebody saying, because one of my posts got fact checked, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's not true. I'm like, but it is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but they're getting other things. I'm like, and that's fine if they ever get them. But what they did promise them was $750,
mm-hmm.
and then you give $157 million to a bunch of terrorists overseas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That doesn't sit well with the American people. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. That should piss you off.
Should, but
I mean, because there are people suffering.
They don't give a shit.
No, and those people up there suffering right now, they don't care about being Democrat or Republican right now. They just are worried about their families, trying to be safe, and that's what everybody else should be. And then Kamala Harris tries to politicize it by saying Ron DeSantis is trying to politicize it because he won't return her phone calls. You see that? Oh my goodness. He says it's not about you. I'm in contact with the White House with the president. You have no business in this chain of command. I've never dealt with you. I've dealt with Biden before, and I've dealt with Trump before on these sorts, but not you. It's not your business. You're not involved in this.
We don't deal with the VP.
Yeah, I don't have to take time out of my day to respond to you. And matter of fact, I didn't even know you called. So you must not have been trying that hard.
Right.
So, but there's a lot of that, right? There's a lot of politicizing and media turning a narrative. That's why when you're doing these things and you listen, like, even listening to us, go and check it out for yourself. Like the things that we're talking to you about are things I went and checked out to be sure that I know what I'm talking about. I've seen these guys who are there talking about it. Guys who have no reason to lie. Like, they're just there trying to save people. They don't care what your politics are either. They're just there trying to save people. And that should be the thing, because North Carolina's tore up.
Yeah.
East Tennessee, tore up. Georgia, top to bottom,
tore up.
And here's the thing about the one, and what made North Carolina so disastrous is it's in the mountains, right? When those mudslides come down, there's nothing to stop a mudslide. It's not like it's just a raging river of water. We're talking mudslides. When it comes down, it wipes out everything. You might as well set a bomb off or something. I mean, it wipes out everything. That's how devastating it is. It just wipes everything out.
Yeah, we just watched a video from the Milton hurricane that come through Florida where the sand is it pushed sand into people's houses that's up to like here.
Filled up swimming pools with sand. What's it even look like a pool anymore? You just walk across it like you're walking on the beach.
Yep. So,
which is wild. Hurricane-proof buildings didn't survive.
Nope.
A lot of that.
Yep.
I mean, it's weird because we were just down there 2 weeks before the first storm hit.
Mm-hmm.
And we remember how pristine it was. You're looking at Siesta Key down there, and it's wiped completely. It's heartbreaking to see it.
Really.
Yeah, it's terrible. We have friends down there. His lifelong best buddy lives right down there where we went.
Yeah, he was. I just got off the phone with him. I was talking to him on the way here. He's like, "Man, it's bad. It's bad.
And these are people who've been through hurricanes, been through hurricane seasons, year after year. But this is a whole new monster. When they say it's a once in a lifetime storm, it's just that. You know, you hear it once in a lifetime, once in a century. That's what we're dealing with in the recovery.
The last one that came through like that was Katrina, right?
Yeah, but even Katrina, I don't even know if Katrina was this bad.
Yeah, no.
And Katrina was bad. And it was a double whammy of Helene and then Milton on top of it.
Right.
The way it hit.
Mm-hmm.
But
and they were both major hurricanes.
And the amount of damage it's done from up the coast and like they're still.
Well, the fact that hurricane came through and hit inland like it did.
What started in the Gulf?
Yeah,
like, which is a freak thing.
And hit and then went up into. I mean, for a hurricane to touch Tennessee and North Carolina, it's got to be pretty damn bad.
Well, in most hurricanes, like with Milton, it was created in the Gulf.
Right.
That don't happen. Usually they start in the Horn of Africa and they work their way up across the Caribbean and across the ocean and they build up through the Caribbean and here we go, hurricanes. But not this one. And it was wild. And
they had tornadoes down there.
Dude, they had a lot. So they had, 140, I want to say 120, 140 tornadoes.
Yes.
And usually when they have a hurricane, they might get 5 or 6.
No.
That tells you the difference in how powerful the storm was.
Yeah.
Going through there. It was.
If you guys are wondering what I'm eating popcorn from Toby Cinemas.
Yep. Here in San Toby. Because when we do our original show, our party show on Saturday nights, this is what we do. It was usually alcohol and popcorn.
Yep.
That's what we would do, a lot of. But
now, right now we're drinking, I am.
Yeah, he's drinking Beast.
Beast.
When we spent time in Florida last year, a lot of these were drank.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these were drank.
Yep.
Which were really good, by the way.
Yep.
But there's a lot of body recovery going on right now in North Carolina, too.
Yeah.
Buried in mud so thick, you're not getting to those bodies.
That one video I sent you where that lady was crying, you did a reaction on it, too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was begging for people to
But again, that's one of the things, like, you'll hear a lot about FEMA, and, well, FEMA's there, and you hear the director, of course, is going to go to bat. Well, our people, let's put this in perspective. You may have boots on the ground, like in Asheville. We've got people in Asheville, like, all right, you may have some people in Asheville trying to take up information, but you don't have boots on the ground in the hills, in all these treacherous places, digging out bodies, trying to rescue people. That's different, all right? That's the difference in it. Because I had one lady come in like, well, I've got relatives around there, and they say FEMA's doing everything they can. I'm like, well, that's untrue. I'm like, because I've got a lady up there right now with her cadaver dog that I train, and I got my brother-in-law's over there. It's not what you think it is. It's what I can tell you.
And the question is it because of all the funds that they have wasted everywhere else?
Yeah.
Is the reason why they can't put the boots on the ground?
Well, that's the problem. FEMA funds should stay with it's a federal emergency. That's where it should stay at. It's been mishandled. They were ill prepared. People say, well, how do you prepare for something like this? When you are built for just these situations, there should be warehouses and stuff. You should be ready to deploy on a dime. To say, okay, it just hit, it's over, load it up, let's go. There shouldn't be days of lack of response. It should happen instantaneously. That's why we're talking about these guys for aerial recovery and a lot of groups like them. Ron DeSantis is probably the greatest governor I've ever seen. He had that state as prepared as you can possibly prepare. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. You got all these linemen ready, and now it's just about cleaning everything up because you can't do anything else.
Somebody that lives down there wouldn't agree with you.
He probably wouldn't. But I still think he's probably the greatest governor there is as far as
it's only
preparedness.
It's only because of the COVID stuff.
Well, the COVID stuff is going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah,
nobody knew how to deal with COVID.
He didn't agree with a lot of it. So.
I'm sure. Like, I didn't agree with any of the lockdowns on COVID. I thought that was dumb. You can't wait out a virus like that. You're not going to wait out a virus like that. It's just part of what it is. You're just not going to.
Well, I was talking to somebody on Messenger today. It's works at a pediatrics office, and she said she got a flu shot this morning. And I normally don't get a flu shot.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking about it because it's free at my
Sure.
work. You can get it, but I usually don't get it. But she says she has to have it.
Yeah.
But I understand because she works there.
Well, she works in the medical field.
She
right?
sees all those
kids.
all those kids and stuff.
And I get wanting to protect them as much as possible. My problem with, but we know about the flu shots. Now that doesn't mean that we're predicting when it comes to the flu shots, flu vaccines, that we're picking the right strain. We're hoping that this is going to be the strain that's going to be prevalent this year. So this is the ones we're preparing for because there are many strains of the flu.
Yeah, but my point about the flu shot is that it had to have started like COVID started. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well,
the flu started back in the back
flu's been around
for years.
since forever.
Yeah, but they didn't have vaccine for it at first,
No.
and so it came out just like COVID did.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The problem with the COVID vaccine, though, is that you're just throwing some stuff together and hoping this works and not knowing what the side effects are. Like with the flu vaccine, we've had 100+ years to figure out, okay, this is good, this is bad. We have to tweak this thing around and fix it. With COVID, you're just like, let's get something out there because people are scared to death. We don't know if it's going to work. We don't know what the side effects are, but let's go ahead and do it. And then you see a lot of things happening, some deaths and other things happening because of the vaccine, especially in younger people and in elderly people where it affects their body. But
the only thing the COVID vaccine did for me was it kept it from being so bad. You know, I never lost my taste.
my taste is already gone.
I never lost that. I
I didn't take the vaccine.
I never threw up and not did it. You know, all that.
I never threw up. The only thing I did was I had a slight headache one day.
Shit.
I lost my smell and my taste for 11 days.
Shit.
That was the worst I had of it.
I had the headache for months.
I didn't. I had it one day.
I had it for months. Right here on top of my head, it would start, and I'd wake up and I'd be fine, and then all of a sudden, as the day would go on,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'd be like, want to beat my head
Dude,
against
I
the
sat
wall.
there. I got up and I was at my computer working and I was eating. And I was like, it just dawned on me. I'm like, what's wrong with my food?
Mm-hmm.
And I tasted it again. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And I realized I couldn't taste anything. Like I was oblivious. I'd had a headache. I took something for it, and then I was eating, and then all of a sudden I had no taste, nothing. A lot of people say I haven't had taste in a long time. That's probably true. But this was wow. It was rough. It was rough.
That kind of taste is what we're
Different
talking
taste?
about. Different taste.
Different taste. Yeah. You know. You know. But people did a lot of crappy things during the storm, though.
Yeah.
Getting back to the storm. Like, you see the one of the dog that was tied up along the highway, right below Tampa?
Dude.
Really?
How you gonna leave your dog, man?
You had to literally say, you had the dog with you and say, you know what? One of us has got to go. Ralph, it's you. You got to get. We're going to haul you 50 yards to this fence line, attach you to a fence, and just going to leave you there.
At least let him go so he can try to find some shelter
Right.
for himself.
Everybody I've talked to has said the same thing. At
I
least
mean,
let him take his own chances.
Damn. I mean, why you gonna chain him up?
Well,
What if he's not there? I mean,
didn't know if
you
he
want
was
to come back
run
to
over
a
by a
dead
car.
dog?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
there was no
shit.
logical reason to do that.
Let the dog.
None.
I mean, that's like, you have a horse in a stable. You ain't gonna tie him up because
No.
he let him go and
He'll find high ground.
he'll find somewhere to get and then come back and get him. That's what you have to
But
do.
don't box them in and tie them up and
But
all
don't
that.
tie 'em
That
up to
dog
where
was
they-
in waist deep water
Man,
when that trooper found him.
that's
And how lucky was he to find him just seeing that white head popping up over there, over the top of that hill? Because it wasn't like it's 10 feet off the road.
Dude,
it was literally 50 yards back.
think about it. That animal could have drowned.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a messed up
What a
way
piece
to
of
die.
trash are you to do that to an animal, though?
They need to out them.
They should.
They need to out.
They need to be out.
They need to be arrested for what is it? Animal cruelty.
Well,
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis said when they find out who it is, they will be prosecuted for extending
They
the law.
need to.
Because they have animal protection laws.
They need to.
galore
I would
for it.
never leave my dog like that.
No. I'm like, buddy, we're in it to the end. Like the one back to North Carolina, they rescued a dog in the top of a tree. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Dog was in the top of a tree. I mean, literally.
He must have swam up there.
Way up in the top of a tree. So they're hearing the dog, and they can't find him. All of a sudden, one looks up, and there he is. Well, he got flushed. His house got washed away in the flood. House got washed away. The family couldn't get the dogs and the animals out. The dog was in the house and got washed away. And then the rescue guys were going through there, heard the dog, and he's up in the top of that tree. They went there and got that dog and reunited him with the family. He was chipped and everything. I mean, they knew crazy. Let these animals, like, they don't want to die either.
No.
They're going to find a way to try to survive too. A lot of them didn't.
Let them try. You know, that's the big thing. Is give them a chance. Give them a chance.
It's terrible. Like, there's one place, well, there's a wedding venue. I heard about this one last night. It was a wedding venue. And when the stuff's coming in, and the people who own the wedding venue, they had all these horses and stuff out there. They were just going to leave them in the small pasture to where it was about to get flooded out. The wedding, the bride, the groom, the wedding party had to go down there and release all the horses and get them up the hill to safety. Because the people who owned it weren't going to do it. They're like, oh, well, yeah. These people with the wedding had to save the owner's horses because they didn't want to go save them and let them out of the pasture up front.
I'd send them a bill.
People are awful.
I'd send them a bill.
People are awful. You need to know a lot about humanity. These storms will bring out people's true character. Crises like this bring out a person's character. Because, again, you had the people from Michigan having to have money to come down here and go help and search for people and didn't do anything but stick their hands up their butt the whole time they were here.
Dude, I feel bad because I can't go down there and help my friend.
Well, exactly, right?
You know,
it's like, can we load a trailer up and just go, and then what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, and your friend's part of the first responders down there, so he's busy
helping
other people.
That's what he was doing yesterday morning when I talked to him. We was talking through text message, and he said, "Well, I just started work. We're fixing to head out for a search and rescue." You know, because I asked him, I said, "Well, have you been by your house?" He said, "No, I'll go after." You know. Yeah. You know. There's nothing you can do for the house, so the search and rescue is what was more important, and that's where his time was, his focus was.
But think about that, people. This guy, his own stuff is destroyed, right? And he's going out looking for other people and putting others first.
His house, the bottom, he's got a 2-story house. Well, the bottom section, all the sheetrock on the bottom of the house has to be torn out all the way up to the ceiling. It has to have all new furniture, has to have all new appliances. Everything has to be new. New cabinet tops, new cabinets, new everything. You know, new bathroom stuff. All that stuff has to be redone. And the water got so high, he has a boat out there. It floated the boat, and then he didn't have the stopper in he didn't have the plug in, and the boat sank.
Oops.
But when the water went down, at least he can get his boat.
Yeah, but
he'll have to have something come out and pick it up.
But we were happy to report Lieutenant Dan made it. Lieutenant Dan made it through the storm, through the hurricane.
Yep.
Dude, that was funny. That was wild. That's a man who's got nothing else left to lose in the world, has a lot of faith that his boat's going to do the job, and by God, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kept... I know he had to get aggravated, because people kept coming by, "You okay? Everything all right?" "I'm fine. My boat's going to be good." And it was, right? Dude had no worries, and everybody's like worried about him. He didn't care. He's like, "I'm going to sit here, I'm going to smoke my marijuana." I mean, he even said it. He said it. So I'm not putting words in his mouth.
I'm going to sit here and smoke my marijuana, and I'm not going to worry about it.
She'll keep me safe. And she did.
She's going to rock it back and forth, but I'm going to ride it out.
By God, he did. Wrote it clean out. It was all good.
Was he an older fellow?
I mean, probably. I would say our age, but he looked a little rough. He's probably a little older.
All right, so the reason I was asking, because there was this lady yesterday in my work. I work for AutoZone corporate office downtown Memphis. Anyway, she was out walking. She looks like she's got to be late 70s,
Mm-hmm.
and she's humped over, and she can't straighten up, and so we see her on the camera. So we go out there and we're like, go over there to check on her because she was leaned up against the building, our building.
Mm-hmm.
So we go out there to check on her. She's like, I'm fine. I walk every day. But this woman, she's taking little bitty steps when I say, and she's just little bitty, like 6-inch steps, and then she can't look up straight. She can't straighten up, and she can't look at, and she just walked on, and
that's how you stay alive, people.
Yep.
Just gotta get moving.
You gotta get out there.
You gotta get out there and go.
You can't just lay up, and that's how you gonna die right there.
It is. She's like, nope, not today.
Not today.
Not today. So, yeah, that's, but people, man, I don't know. People amaze me. And it's just, it is crazy what's going on. Speaking of crazy, talking about this election, which is the wildest election I can ever remember. I mean, by far, this is the wildest election ever that I've ever seen in my life.
This should be a damn landslide.
Well, you would think so, but there's a lot of ignorant people in this country.
Yes.
There's a lot of ignorant people in this country.
Yes.
I mean, you hate to say it, but when you're faced with the truth of it, what else do? You can't deny it. There's a lot of dumb folks out there. And it's every time I hear that woman speak, it's like, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying? Like, and she's on this media blitz right now trying to, and it's more embarrassing than anything else. It's like, I feel bad for her running mate because she's awful when it comes to saying stuff, and
you might have done better if you had just left Biden in there.
Probably. They're giving her softball questions to answer, and they gave her the opportunity to distance herself from the current administration and all this inflation stuff. Mm-hmm. And what did she say? Nope, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm right there with all this, with everything he did. It's like, you dummy. This is not what people are wanting to hear you say. Your constituents are not wanting to hear you say that.
So you're going to do the same thing. That's what everybody's been saying. You're just going to do the same thing. You're not going to make a change.
No,
you're not going to do shit for this country.
And it's wild. Like, Trump has been all over on all these big podcasts here lately. Oh my God. He was on Flagrant the other night with Andrew Schultz. You know Andrew Schultz, comedian? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was hilarious. That's an hour and 30 minutes of hilarity. That is just funny. But it shows you the personality, big difference in personality and actually having a plan and not having a plan. Like, Trump's doing all these town hall meetings. Mm-hmm. And she tried to have one the other day that backfired big time.
What was that one she didn't have but like 40 people show up and they had to bus them in?
That's right. I forget where that was.
They were getting paid. If you get bussed in, you're getting paid.
Yeah, and then one of the news companies yesterday tried to say, oh, this is a Trump rally right here, and they had showing a few fans back up. I'm like, no. Good try. And that may have been a Trump rally when they first opened the doors and people are just, it wasn't when they were full and running, right? They're not showing you those pictures.
No.
and
Trump's rallies are packed, Jack.
They are packed because people want to see it.
I mean, he has come to the Lander Center.
Yeah.
And that thing is just sold out.
Just brimming.
So.
But it's been a crazy thing to watch how this unfolds. And I think Trump learned a lot from his first time in the White House, mm-hmm. and also how to handle himself, mm-hmm. and things. Because he was asked about that. Mm-hmm. He's been asked about that and then I think Andrew Schultz even asked him about that. So he's like, look, I weave my story. Sometimes it's a short story. Sometimes it's a long weave that goes way out. But I always bring it back around to where I started and to what my point was.
My thing is, leave the man alone when he gets elected. Let him run this country. We don't need any more impeachment bullshit. We don't need all that stuff. You're just wasting our money.
Well, and that's the thing. So it's like they don't care. It's like the difference between people who, like, he doesn't have to do this. I wish that people would understand it. The man doesn't have to do this.
I mean, he didn't take a damn dime.
No. Elon said he's not taking a dime either. Whatever he gets, and his role in the efficiency part. I mean, I get people are scared for them to be in office because a lot of this crap that they get away with, all these behind the scenes dollars that we know are happening. So any of you out there think that's not happening, don't stop fooling yourself. You know that's happening. It's always happened. It's happened for 100 years.
I was watching a thing where they were having they were trying to pass a bill, and it's got to do with the Senate, the people in the Senate, senators and stuff, doing trades.
Yeah, you should not be able to. Yeah.
Making all kinds of money.
And it's insider trading.
Yeah, it's inside trader. They should be. I mean, Pelosi.
She made a fortune out of it.
Yeah, she should be in jail.
But they're not going to say that. They'll pick the people who they want. Like they got Martha Stewart of all people. Remember that? Remember when they threw Martha Stewart in jail because somebody told her, "Hey, you might want to watch this stock. It's about to go," and she went and sold it. That's insider trading. You don't think that these people have their finger on the pulse of the Wall Street?
It's documented, man.
It's there.
It's there.
So to say that it's not, or if you believe that's not, you're naive. Now, I think and this is what scares people is the proof that will come out once Trump is in office. That's why they don't want him in there. It ain't because they don't think he can run the country. They know he can run the country like a business. It's going to be fine. It was the first 4 years.
No, not according to the.
Regardless of what they say, we all know who lived it. First 4 years, great. COVID hit at the end of it. That's the only thing that sunk his presidency for the second term.
Yeah.
Was COVID. Democrats used that as a fear tool.
China did that.
And that's the only way that happened. They used it as a fear tactic and got the election that way. Whether you want to call it stealing or whatever, that's up to you. That's in the past. It don't even matter anymore. Yeah. All right, what matters is this election.
Yeah.
The other ones don't matter.
It's done. It's done. We've already suffered through 4 years.
Yeah, that's what it is. But it's funny because they were talking about that too. It's like, why is it okay for Democrats to talk about elections being stolen? Because they do it every time. Hillary did it every day.
Every day.
They stole it. It's not real. He's not legitimate president.
She still talks about it.
They put a compilation of that together the other day. It's like, y'all are saying we were wrong for questioning the outcome of the election, but look at all this. And they always do it. You're allowed to do that. You do know that, right? It is constitutional for you to question that stuff. And all they're trying to do is we just want fair elections. That's right. So, like, if we had fair elections where you used to have paper ballots, we did this, you turned it in, that's it. And whoever wins, I'm good with that. Even if the person who wins is not the person I choose for, and it just shows we got a lot of stupid people around us. That's fine.
Yep.
But when you have to question your election, that's the hard part. That's the part you don't want to have to deal with. And boy, are we having to deal with this kind of craziness. And it's not going to stop.
There is no way that she can beat him legitimately.
No, it's not. And they've tried everything they could do to make her look good, and it is not working. Nothing is working for them, and it's been crazy. But I believe that's why Trump has gotten so much better. Like he's the people he's got in place. RFK, I'm an RFK fan.
Oh yeah,
this dude's smart.
Dude, he don't hold back.
No, I love that dude.
Yeah.
So imagine you got RFK in there, Vivek Ramsey is going to be a part of. He's going to have a role in the government. Elon does. Tulsi does. You look at former Democrats, by the way. These are former Democrats. And more leaving. Zachary Levi, Shazam, came out the other day. I'm a Republican. I can't be quiet anymore. It's too important. Mm-hmm. Shazam. This is a big Hollywood star. This is not one of them CW stars coming out who don't really have a career anymore, right? Coming out, just they don't care. They have nothing to lose. Not like Alyssa Milano, who don't get anything anymore, any roles, so she has to chirp, so people pay attention to her.
Is she for Kamala?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mark Ruffalo's the worst one.
Oh yeah.
He's the worst one.
Yeah.
That dude has him and Mark Hamill. I guess your name's Mark. It makes sense. Being a Mark, it makes sense.
Oprah and all them son bitches.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like, and he was except for it's Ruffalo was talking about carbon footprint. I'm like, dude, when you travel to go do movies, what are you traveling on? A jet plane? How much is that putting out? A lot. That ain't what you got to worry about.
Oh, and then Tesla dude, he don't hold back. Him and
Elon.
Yeah, Elon
Elon
and
yeah.
Graf, whatever his name is, the Hulk.
Yeah.
He didn't hold back. They was
didn't.
going at it, boy.
He didn't.
He let him know you don't know shit.
You don't know anything. You play a scientist, you're not one. All right, let's get that straight right now. But that's the problem with people putting these celebrities and stuff on a pedestal, thinking because they're a celebrity, they're smart. There's a big deal in this country right now with people who, when they look at a celebrity, they tend to think that that celebrity is all-knowing, they're all-wise, they're super intelligent. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They know no.
They
They don't know any.
pretend.
They don't know any more than you do.
They do not. And if you're like some of my neighbors, that should scare you. That should be frightening. Because, dang, I got some dumb neighbors. It's awful. So you should be terrified of that. And then the thing is, Hollywood people all of a sudden are just smart.
They're not.
No. No. Yeah, people, you gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. That's why I love watching Officer Tatum. B. Tatum. Shout out to B. Tatum. He's great, by the way. If you don't know who Officer Tatum is, you gotta go check him out. That's where I got my shirt that I wore to the bars down there.
Yeah, I'm voting for a felon.
That's it. It's a B. Tatum shirt. It's good stuff. But guys, I guess is that about it? Pretty much wrapped up today?
Hell, that's only one subject we talked about.
Well,
We didn't talk
kind of
about
meshed it all in together. Because right now, because that's the sad thing when you got the hurricane, you got politics running into it and throughout it, and all the things that are happening. Like
We didn't even talk about wrestling.
with the animal. We didn't sort of talk about it. Except the fact that we're going to be in Missouri this weekend. Well, by the time y'all see this, it will have been that weekend.
Yeah,
So y'all see this on a Monday.
Yeah,
That happened on a Saturday.
on Saturday we're going to kick ass.
And hopefully we'll still be in the same condition coming back because the match that we're going to be in is a four corners weapons match. Four corners weapons match.
Okay. So
So
he don't even have a partner,
he's got a mystery partner.
a mystery partner.
And I know who it is.
You do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I sure do. I'm trying to act like they're keeping it a secret. I found out.
You did.
I did. I did.
I really don't give a shit.
You know how we call it research, people? That's what you do with research. I
don't
found
care.
out. And I actually found out. I wasn't even trying to find out. I just like, oh, that's what that is. Got it.
Got it.
Got it. Let's go. But it ain't gonna matter.
Hey, your friend David Cox called me today.
That's your friends.
He needs a place to work.
Okay. Why are you telling me?
I mean, if
I
you
don't
know,
have a place.
If you know anybody that's
Run shows?
yeah, that needs some talent.
I don't know anybody who needs talent.
So
I don't know anybody who needs that kind of talent.
David's loyal.
I don't know anybody who needs that kind of talent.
I love David Cox.
I don't know anybody who needs that kind of talent. You keep saying it. You keep fluffing him up. But no.
I love David Cox.
I'm sure you do. You like the shit he says that you know is untrue so you can laugh at it.
That is not true.
That is exactly true. See that grin? That's all that is. Yeah. He's like, what kind of stupid shit's about to come out of his mouth tonight? Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's crazy business.
Anyways.
It's what's funny is that we've talked about politics. There's a ton of that crap in wrestling too.
Oh.
Son. That's how we were so well acquainted with how people are. Because in wrestling,
The
you see it,
backstabbing.
the backstabbing, the political footing,
The
Trying to
politicking
sit you
to
all
get
so
somebody's
much.
spot.
it's a lot.
Earn your shit.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They can't earn it. The only way they can earn it is by sticking their nose up somebody's ass.
Pretty much. Or rubbing lotion on them.
Or shaving their underarms.
Things like that.
Shaving their back.
Things we don't do.
Things we don't do.
We just go in there and whoop ass.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do. You know, it's kind of how we are. Rest of them, though, no.
If you're good enough, you don't have to do that shit.
That's going to be a big show this weekend, though.
Yeah.
That will be a big show this weekend, so that'll be interesting. Jerry Lawler will be making an actual appearance there, recovering from his stroke and all the stuff that he's been through lately. Dangerous Doug Gilbert will be there. Downtown Bruno will be there.
Ricky Morton will be there.
Ricky Morton. Freya, the Slayer from OBW will be there. Tony Gunn from OBW will be there.
He's him and my boy Bullwhip are going at it.
Yeah, that'll be a good match too. That'll be a real good match. So,
did you see Bullwhip's interview?
Yeah,
loved it.
It's good. It's good.
That's my boy right there.
That is 100% Bullwhip. Just who he is. So, that dude right there, you can see him around more and more people one of these days. Just remember the name.
Bullwhip.
Just remember the name. And Bullwhip, you remember WrestleMania tickets one day.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah.
All right. You know who's looking out for you.
Oh yeah.
You know who's looking out for you.
Oh yeah.
I did see. So was it Bad Blood that was the other night? It was Bad Blood the other night.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I gotta say.
Did you see all those staples that McIntyre got put in the top of his head?
Ooh, it was a lot.
15 of them.
Oh my God, he was split open.
Ooh wee!
I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a match.
You can tell Triple H is running this shit.
Oh
now.
yeah, that was a hell. Him and CM Punk. This whole ankle over a bracelet. That's how you know your level, what level you're on compared to everybody else's. That's how you know right there. Over a bracelet. A bracelet. And they had one of the craziest Hell in a Cell matches I've ever seen. That was wild. Hard hitting. I mean, when Drew did that Claymore and missed it and hit his back on the edge of the steps in the middle of the ring, oh my God. I folded in half. And I was just on my bed watching. I was like, oh my God. I hurt for him. I mean, that looked brutal. That whole match was brutal. I thought the whole thing with the Bloodline and Cody and Roman, that was a lot of fun. That was so good. At the end, the finish was great. At the end of it was awesome. Like seeing Jimmy come back. That whole deal was good. They kept teasing the whole Roman deal, like how he's going to leave Cody, comes back and says it. And then, after the show goes off,
The Rock comes out.
No, but then after that happened, and the show's completely off the air,
I don't know what happened then.
KO comes out and beats Cody Rhodes to death in the middle of that ring.
Oh, did he?
Or beat him outside of it, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, after it goes off the air. Yeah.
So KO's going back heel then.
I guess so. I guess so. So it was a great night of wrestling. And boy,
Well, they needed to do something to take Cody out of the Bloodline bullshit.
Well, they had to. They had to separate him and Roman, and this is how you do that and keep Roman on the taking on the Bloodline anyway. But it was good. It was good.
But I'll tell you this, for all you guys out there watching that are in professional wrestling, you know you're good when you don't need a title
Oh, exactly.
to be able to carry a show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a title to have a storyline. And that's what that bracelet was all about.
It was.
Don't need all that shit. You don't need a title to have a storyline.
You just have to
put on a good show.
That's it. Like Roman, he doesn't need that belt.
He doesn't need
for
that
the
belt.
Bloodline.
Right.
He's the OTC, right? The original
Not right
tribal
now.
chief.
Not right now. He doesn't need that.
He is so over the way he is anyway, and what they've got going on with that whole bloodline. You don't have to have it.
You don't
have to have it.
And
And don't
you
get
know
me wrong. There always should be a really good top guy as your champion.
Yeah.
There always needs to be that.
Right.
But the point is, you don't have to be that to be over.
Right.
To tell a great story.
You don't have to have that title to carry this company.
No, you
to
don't.
carry that company. You
don't.
can carry that company. Roman's still carrying the company.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt. When he
But,
comes out there,
yeah,
it's just it's time.
it's just you got to understand that.
Yeah, which is the great thing about wrestling is that for a lot of people who may watch this and don't understand wrestling, or it's faux pop for some people still, even though wrestling is pretty mainstream now. So it's not really faux pop. We don't get looked at. I was in Walmart last night and saw a buddy of mine there. We were talking about, the channel and all that stuff. His wife has a channel on TikTok. Jen Sally, by the way, if you're on TikTok, go look her up. She's crushing it on TikTok. And so we're sitting there talking, and the guy walks by. He looks up. He says, "Storm?" I'm like, "Yeah." He shook my hand while I like watching you, and just walked on by.
Now,
But my point being with that is, when you're memorable, and people have seen you, and they've seen you somewhere, and you're entertaining to them, or you create an impression on them, they will remember you. They remember how you made them feel, and that's how you. To me, I like it back like Trump, right? You know the reason people are connected to Trump is because of how he makes them feel like you matter.
Yeah.
Like I'm here for you. Like when he says it, you just believe it, because you know the man doesn't have to do it. So everything that he says, the showman even in him, that he is a showman too. Don't get that twisted. He is. He has been for a long time, but he's also genuine. That's the one thing I think a lot of people don't see. But it's the same thing when you're doing our profession, which Trump happens to be a huge fan of. It's professional wrestling.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where you're in there, and you've got to be genuine. And when we go out there and we are like these Savage Brotherhood shirts, there's a reason we're called that. All right? That's how we wrestle. It's a brutal style.
We are savage. We tell you what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and then we go out there and do it.
And do it every time.
We don't. We would tell you we're going to cheat.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to cheat.
Mm-hmm. And we don't change. Win or lose, we don't change, right?
See,
we're out there doing what we're going to do.
That chain on his hat is on there for a reason.
It is. It is. It is, dude. We're in AWA last weekend, right? Yeah, because this is the show. Yeah, so we had a show last weekend at a place in Arkansas. And I was wrestling this big, huge dude, bigger than me. And I'm a big dude.
No, it wasn't AWA. It was APW.
No, APW.
APW.
I don't know why I said APW.
APW.
But this dude's a lot bigger than me. And I'm a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And my hat, when I took everything else off, you give it to the ring now, they take your stuff away, but my hat sits right there on the ring post.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody even pays attention to it. No one pays attention to it until all of a sudden at the end of the match, I'll reach over, grab that chain, and the fans are like, what the? Like it's right there, hidden in plain sight.
Exactly.
But that's what we're talking about, right? How smarter than the business are you? How clever are you? And how good are you to keep figuring out ways to be better than everybody else?
Exactly.
And we do that all the time. Always thinking about ways to keep one step ahead of everybody else. And people will ask you, well, okay, well, y'all hate each other on TV, but that doesn't happen behind the scenes. Like, you don't realize how many people do not like us.
No.
And it's not because we're actually mean human beings.
No.
A lot of people don't like us because of our positioning in the area
company
that we're in.
Yeah.
Right.
They want our spot.
Mm-hmm. And they feel that we should step aside and let young guys have it.
That's where the politics come in.
That's where a lot of the politics comes in. But it's always, to me, it's a meritocracy like everything else should be. We don't do DEI stuff. We're not hiring you because we have to fill a quota. You've got to be the guy that can come in here and get it done. If you're not, why do we need you? We need people who that other people want to keep coming back and see. And a lot of these companies are starting to understand that a little bit, I think. Is that we just want people in here who can bring eyes in. Like, I'm not going to get jealous of somebody. We got Tom Latimer coming in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Come on. That's more eyes on everybody else.
Hey, what they don't seem to understand is he's bringing eyes in on you,
Yes,
on us
absolutely.
as a tag team, and on the other people that are on the show.
So
He's
should
helping you
welcome
all
that.
the way around.
Yeah, you should welcome it. Like the whole Caitlin Clark thing, right, with the WNBA. All
Yes.
the people get mad. Why are you mad? She's putting eyes on you. You want to talk about having better revenue coming in for
Dude,
you
she's
and your
gonna
players?
put money in your pocket, you dumbasses.
And that's the point. Why are you mad about that? Don't be jealous. Go out there and go.
The
"Hell yeah."
more people she brings in, they're buying tickets. And when you sell more tickets, the owners get more money. They can pass that money on down the line to your dumbass is
Yeah.
raising hell
Look at
about
what
the
happens.
fact that she's
Yep.
in here.
Look at what happened to TV ratings. When she was in the playoffs and on TV, ratings were up. If
Up.
they were out, down.
Down.
Now that's revenue out of your pocket.
Yep. Exactly.
Why would you be upset that you have a figure coming in that's a lightning rod for popularity that's going to increase the value of your company, which
Dude,
means more money in
what
your
you
pocket.
should be doing is jumping on the train.
That's right. And looking for other talent saying, you know what, there's another chick over here we need to be.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of insecurity in sports too, though. There's a whole lot of insecurity in sports. And we see it all the time. We deal with it all the time.
All the time. But my thing is, if you want my spot, come get it.
That's all you got to do.
Come
Just gotta
try to come take it away from me.
Just got to come take
If
it.
you can take it away from me, you can have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and simple.
That's what it is. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in to this week's episode of After Dark. We'll be back here again next week. Every week we're doing this. Monday at 9 o'clock. The episode will premiere.
Yep.
So get ready for that. Hit that like button, subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Look for changes coming to the channel. I'm adding them, getting ready. We just got, or in the process of getting monetized now. We're going to add a membership deal to it, but that's going to be, I think I want to do a Patreon page to where we can have once a month, and I think this would be great, a watch along or a party night, an after dark party night.
An after dark party night will be the bomb.
So what we might do is we'll say, hey, we're going to react to stuff, but we can all react together in the party. We'll do it live, but it'll only be on Patreon.
Dude.
That will be stuff that would just be there and just for our select members who decide they want to be paid.
You guys would enjoy a party.
It will be fun. Yeah. It will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do things like that. We'll open it up. A lot of plans coming, but thanks to everybody who's jumped on here so far. Made this channel a success. Get us to where we got in 2
Send
weeks.
us those questions.
Send us any question you have, you want us to cover topics.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to do it.
We'll read it out. We'll answer whatever you got. We're not shy about it.
No.
Trust me.
And that's easy. It's afterdarkwiththeboys@gmail.com. All you got to do is send us a message, send us a DM. Go on Facebook. All our socials are up there. Get that. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Get you on here. You want us to react to something, we'll do that too.
Yep.
Let us know. We'll do that. Until then, till next time, you got Brody, you got BD. We out.
Later.